Hello and welcome back to Kelly Loves K-Pop. Today is another donator reading from the Coffee page. This time we're looking into Baekhyun from EXO's Ideal Partner. So thank you, donator. We really appreciate you. And let's get started. As you guys know, I do a layered reading for these Ideal Partners. If you don't know, and this is your first time checking out my channel, thank you. I will pull from these archetype cards, and basically this is a modified personality reading on Baekhyun to see what kind of partner would ideally fit him or he would idealize. Sometimes it goes either way. So I just go with it, whatever calls. If Baekhyun's personality comes through really strong, then we will go with that and see what kind of partner is good for him. I also like to just say tarot readings are for entertainment purposes only. I am going to go with any positive or negative cards I get. So if you're only interested in positive outcomes, you know, just a warning, that may not be what happens here. So whatever positive and negative aspect I get, we're going to talk about it. So with that, let me go ahead and shuffle these cards up and we'll go. We'll get started. If you don't know, I have a Patreon and an Etsy shop where you can vote for monthly readings, or you can order readings for yourself, respectively. And there'll be links in the description of every video I make. So if you want to check those out, please do. My family also makes these lovely reading and gaming cloths that we sell on my Etsy shop, so you don't have to be a tarot reader to support. you can use it for card games or dice games or any kind of little mat you want to protect your table. Okay, let's get these last three cards down. Okay, and then I didn't say these are the Caroline Miss archetype cards, and these are the Wild Mystic Oracle, I believe. Yes, these are new. So I'll go ahead and layer these over. So these work as like a clarifier as to why these personality tropes or issues have come up and what the partner is to do about those things or change in what way. I used to read out every little bit of these cards, but lately I've been trying not to because I feel like it's a little confusing because I don't use the definition of this card verbatim. I like to use it and then jump off of it intuitively. So I was worried it was more confusing and maybe it was taking up more time than before. So these readings feel a little different than how they used to be. That's why. So let me know if you like the old way I did or you like this new way, and give me some feedback if you can. I really appreciate that. I always appreciate feedback. I think I do have a personality reading on Baekhyun from a while back. If I do, I'll make sure I link it so you guys can contrast and compare this reading. All right, so we have Artist in the Light and Disguise, which also has the Gemini symbol. And I should have checked what Baekhyun's zodiac sign is. He feels like an earth sign to me, but I'm not 100%. Like I said, I forgot to look up into that before I got ready. So we have Gemini and Taurus energy. So maybe the partner has Gemini and Taurus placements in their zodiac sign. So we have the light attribute of artist. And it's just about expressing yourself, being able to express yourself, you know, not only professionally, but in your everyday life. It's a way of, it's a state of being. And we have disguise, but also it's the chameleon. So number one, I think if he is dating or he will marry someone, they're not going to be a celebrity. They're going to be someone who can blend in, obviously. Someone who maybe is not an artist like he is. If they are, they're very low-key about it. They're not a big celebrity artist. They may be a type of artist that is a little bit quieter, a little bit more in the background. Maybe a digital artist or someone who works maybe even in the film industry or something. I'm getting that kind of vibe, but not like a musical celebrity. I'm definitely not getting that. Because I feel like even though Baekhyun is a true artist, you know, he's constantly, I think, even if he wasn't a celebrity, would be musical. I think when he's not doing his, you know, working, he wants to have a pretty normal life, a pretty quiet life. So someone who can blend in, someone who can, who is maybe more quiet by nature is going to be more attractive to him. So yeah, then we have Liberator in the Shadow and Consume. It's very much about sometimes Baekhyun can be very hard-headed and likes things his way. My way or the highway sometimes. He knows what he wants and he doesn't seem like the type that's going to compromise too much. So I do think someone who has a lot of patience, because I think the consuming, I think, is like the partner can be easily weighed down by this. I think he needs to be careful that he can expect his partner to almost give up everything that they are to be able to be with him. And sometimes in the beginning, that's how people are. They'll be like, they'll do anything because they're so like in awe and enamored by the partner. Even not just the fame, but just, you know, liking someone so much that you do anything for them. He needs to make sure he doesn't wear out his partner to where they have given him everything and they no longer have a sense of themselves. He might have a tendency to wear out his partners because he can be a little bit demanding. So that's something he really, really needs to be careful and look out for. It could be why he has a problem keeping a long-term partner, because he just wears them out. He asks for too much. His sense of self is so strong that people give up everything and then they no longer have a sense of who they are. So we have Visionary in the Light and Family. And if you know about seahorses, you know that they're the ones that incubate the children until they're grown. So like attributes, this is about dreaming of a family. I think he wants to be a family man. I think he probably wants to have a lot of children, to be honest with you. I think he feels like he's in a good place to care for them, to support them. I think he wouldn't be scared to be a single father. Honestly, this kind of gives me that vibe that maybe if he didn't have a long-term partner, he would adopt a child. Something like that. Like he wants his... I think he's one of those, he has a certain age and he's going to have a family by that certain age, whether he's married or not. I kind of get that vibe from him. Like he seems very definite in his goals and desires and achieving those things. I think he feels like anything he sets his mind to, and we'll get to that with the confidence, but when he gets anything he sets his mind to, he's going to. And I think even with the family, you know, that's what he wants. So his partner's going to have to be open not only to having a family, but having a very patriarchal family unit. That is definitely what is coming through in these cards. Allegedly for entertainment purposes only. I'm not trying to speak badly. You know, I just think he wants it. I say traditional, but I should say really the word I'd rather use is old-fashioned family unit. I think that's really what he wants. And you know, but he does want someone who kind of is like-minded, you know, with that wants to have a big family, that wants to have a head, you know, that traditional like head of household. And I don't know, I think Baekhyun dreams about that, and is not, again, he's not into compromising from what I'm getting in this reading. So, and again, we're speaking in ideals. So sometimes an idealized relationship is not a healthy relationship. You know, it's about, there might be a little bit of a selfish line here with Baekhyun, in that he wants someone who will give up everything for him, because he's not willing to give up what he's worked hard for. So that may be something he himself needs to eventually work through, and maybe eventually that would make his idealized partner a little more of a healthy, more healthy aspects to them. I'm not saying they're all bad, but he does seem to have a little, right now, as of right now, he seems to have a hard through line of what he wants and what he's willing to settle for, which is absolutely settling for nothing. So that's that. Okay, we have Priest in the Shadow. Again, this is about feeling like you are very, very important. What you're doing is very important, and people that rely on you, in a spiritual way, are supporting your community. He may be doing that through music. You know, he's obviously the proud peacock of confidence here. You know, he likes the attention. He wants the attention for his artistry, right? I'm sorry, my voice is still a little froggy. I'm just still getting over this cold. It's like hanging on for dear life. So if I'm hard to hear, my biggest apologies. But yeah, he can kind of feel like, I mean, and he's not necessarily wrong that he is so well received and depended on, and like just well loved by the musical community. I think he's so widely respected, and also the way his fans look up to him. He feels like what he does is absolutely necessary and needed, and I think he still has a lot more to say and do artistically that we haven't seen, that's going to, well, I think he's hoping will change the face of music. Like, I think he still has huge plans, and you know, like I said, in a lot of birds, actually, yes, a lot of birds, not just the peacock, you know, the females are simpler. They're again, they blend in. They definitely play, like, even though they have a lot more power, they don't show it. The male birds are the brightly colored, the ones that, the most visible, you know, that are going to show off the most. So I think it's still talking about having that partner that supports him in these big roles, you know, that is quietly there. They're not seeking fame for themselves. For some reason, that seems really important to him. But also, with all of this going on, he doesn't want an insecure partner either. The confidence has to go for both of them, where if you're insecure playing this supporting role, that the partner, it's not going to work. They also have to be confident in what they're doing is necessary, and they feel stable in that relationship. Because I'm not seeing him being into many partners. I just think he knows what he wants, and he wants someone who definitely has aligned goals with him, and that sees that what he views, what he does is very important. They need to view it that way too. But I see the confidence being in like all realms. He's confident. He needs them to be confident. He needs them to be confident in him. You know, like it needs to go all ways around. Like that's very, very important. You know, the spotlight here is on him, but also on the confidence. So I wonder, is Baekhyun a Taurus? Because I wonder if that's the partner and that's him. I feel like he's an earth sign, so please let me know. I can't remember, but I get earth sign vibes from him so strongly. Okay, so now we have Pioneer and Rebirth. This is an interesting combo. Because yeah, Pioneer is a constant need to keep moving on. You know, keep in the shadow here. It's like there's a need, again, to reinvent himself. I think it just as a personality reading, I feel like I'm saying that Baekhyun, when he comes back, is going to maybe try to change up his image, to shake up things a bit when he gets to do a solo thing. And also Rebirth. So I think this just shows that like the partnership they need to constantly keep reinvigorating it, keep don't let things get boring, right? Like I feel like that could happen where if one of them likes consistency, but one of them needs constant change or new experiences and new input. So for their partnership to work, there needs to be constant growth and constant change and constant communication and learning. The snake is also protection. So it's not just about learning and changing who you are and trying new things, but it's also about doing it in a way that doesn't put the relationship at risk. Someone who's protective of it, someone who can have that aggressively protect what it is. So yeah, I think this person needs to be exciting in a lot of ways, but quiet. So I do feel like Baekhyun has some ideals that clash a little bit in his reading. I feel like he might be asking quite a lot from a partner if he's not willing to put in some of this effort himself. Which is interesting because it's one of the few ideal readings I've had that way. I have had other readings where like, oh, this person needs to come in and like change this person's life, or, show them a new way to look at things. But this is very much like Baekhyun feels very solid. Like I want this, and I deserve this, and I'm not going to settle for less in my partner. And yeah, it's like they give everything to me. They're quiet. They don't ask for the celebrity, the fame themselves, but also they're exciting. Like, okay, dude, that's a lot. But he may find it. That person may be out there. They're quiet, but they're exciting and always spending that time maybe to learn and do new things. To always come back to the relationship with new exciting things to talk about. Good luck to him, on that, because that seems like a lot to me. All right, so we have mentor also in the shadow. This is about kind of acting like you know more than you really do, and it's provide. So in a way, this kind of has a fake it till you make it aspect. Also, I kind of get the vibe that like as much as he wants things his way and he can afford to have things his way, he doesn't want a partner that doesn't have kind of some bit of I don't want to say status, but like wealth. Like they almost need to come from wealth as well to for him to feel comfortable. I think he may worry a little bit about a gold digger situation. So it's like, I can provide for you, but I won't unless I know you can also provide for yourself, or you come from a place where you're going to be supported even if I'm not supporting you. It's like that kind of feeling. Because I feel like until he was famous, I don't know if Baekhyun came from money. I feel like he didn't. I feel like that's the irony of this set of cards, is that he's expecting someone who came from a better situation than him to give them a chance. There's like a little bit of this ironic twist to this, where it's like, I have money now, but I didn't always have money, but I'm not going to give anybody the time unless they also are at the same status I'm at now. Which I understand, but also, like I said, it has a little bit of an ironic twist there, where it's like, were you a bad person when you didn't have money? Like, I don't know. He probably has been in situations that have made him worry about things like this, or like dealt with people who made him insecure, or situations that made him more insecure. I kind of worry that that's the issue here, is that he's been burned in the past and he just doesn't want to be burned again. And he's acting out of a little bit of insecurity and a little bit of cockiness, and that combination isn't always great. But again, like I said, these are situational, and I like to go back in a year or two and always like redo these readings and see if they're still fighting the same battle, or if they've overcome those battles. So that's what I have for the ideal partner reading. Again, think he wants a lot, and he's not going to settle for anything less than what he feels he deserves. And, you know, good for him. You know, I hope he gets everything he wants. But I am saying what he wants is a difficult thing to find. So the set of traits are difficult, but good luck to him. I'm going to go ahead and do my little like check-in reading that I try to do with these. So let's see what we got. I believe this tarot deck is, oh gosh, Revelations tarot deck. I think the Revelations tarot, something like that. Something like that. I'll just do a quick little check-in on Baekhyun and see what he's up to these days, how he's feeling. I kind of leave it wide open, and whatever aspect is strongest for him right now coming through, that's what we'll look into. I feel like he's been relatively quiet. I haven't, if there was a Baekhyun comeback recently, I missed it. But I feel like there hasn't, right? Y'all want to share with me what he's been actively doing lately? I'd love to know. I know I've seen like Chen running around doing stuff. I've seen Kai running around doing things. But I don't know if I've seen Baekhyun. I know Chen was also dealing with some weird accusations last year, maybe, or early this year. I can't remember now. But yeah, I feel like Baekhyun, besides Super M, has been quiet. And even Super M feels like it was a while ago now. All right. Okay. The Emperor in reverse. Emperor in reverse usually means trying to circumvent the structures that are in place, trying to change the structures in place. I don't know if he had any contract negotiations, renewals, that kind of thing recently, but it would be that he's thinking about it if he hasn't. It's like, it's like he wants some kind of change in the overall structure. Oops, okay. Nine of Pentacles in reverse, Nine of Swords in reverse. We have 2 nines. Something is almost finished. There's almost something into completion. And it's finances and ideas. So there is something that's not being listened to and not given the resources he wants. Could be why he wants to renegotiate the structure. Yeah, something's not going his way. And then we have the Lovers, and I swear I just had this Lovers, almost a similar spread for Lucas on a contract renegotiation. So SM must be going through and changing or renegotiating certain contracts for certain people, or I don't know if EXO is also in contract negotiation periods, but Baekhyun's changing something with a contract. It could be something that's not SM, it could be different contracts. Sometimes it's brand deals or television, or if he's doing musical theater, it could be something like that where it's a contract coming up. But being that he feels unsupported in whatever this contract structure is, I usually feel like it's a big thing, like it would be SM. So let me shuffle some more. Yeah, the Lovers is upright though, so I don't think he's leaving any contracts. I just think it's in discussion. It's in negotiation. He wants more resources. He wants more power in planning and ideas. So I think he has had some power before, you know. I just think he wants more. I think he still feels like he's not getting enough, maybe in comparison to other artists. Eight of Wands. Yeah, again, this is about people not listening to you. It could be also that it's just been a period of inactivity for him, for reaching out to the public. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, it's in a period, he's in a period of like work and planning and things he's had working for a while. He's almost done working on them. I think he's having to spend his own resources. I see this a lot with SM artist readings, that they have to come up with their own resources, their own money, to get these solo projects started. It's like SM, once you do solo projects, they don't invest their money. Their money goes into group comebacks. So he's probably having to raise money or put his own money into his solo work here. Ten of Pentacles. Usually I have the Three of Pentacles for collaboration, but collaboration's also what I thought about this. This is usually your legacy. This is usually how you continue passing on your wealth and knowledge into the next generation. It could be that we could see him collaborating with like an NCT member, someone on the younger generation he's trying to bring up, maybe an aespa member. That might sound even more likely, that he wants to take his expertise and his kind of experience and pass it on. So I feel like we might get something like that. We might get him collaborating with one of the younger members or younger group members of SM, then one of the newer debuts. Unless he's going to be used to bring in someone from NCT Japan or NCT Hollywood or something when that happens. But I'm almost feeling aespa. aespa feels like a really safe decision here, that they may have a feature on whatever solo stuff he's working on. And the Two of Swords. So he's still making choices. Again, he's still making decisions. Things are not, you know, especially with the Lovers here. He also may be getting offers from other companies. So these negotiations could be, if his contracts aren't really up yet, he's discussing things for moving on. Now, not saying he will, but he may just be exploring those options, seeing what's being offered, seeing what companies would be interested in him, to get more of like what he wants. Because the Two of Swords being right there with the Lovers really feels like discussing contracts outside of his regular one. And it could be because he's unhappy with that, because he's having to do so much himself and he's not getting everything he wants put out. So there's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of frustration here. Lot of Pentacles. Lot of Pentacles. So it's really about his money. And he doesn't like people messing with his money. So, but yeah, I feel like he's not feeling supported in the structure. But I do feel like he's working on something. It's not ready yet. And maybe he's saying if he's done, if he wants to put it out with SM, or he's exploring other people, he may be able to release it with, if he holds on to it, something like that. So that's kind of what I got for a check-in. I do think he's working on more solo stuff, so I think we can look forward to that. Even though he's weighing his options, I don't get big feelings that he'll leave SM. I just think he's frustrated in the situation SM puts him in to put out more solo work at this point. So take that as you will. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you so much again for the donation. I'll have links to the Ko-fi page in the description, along with my Etsy shop, Patreon, all that good stuff. If you could do all the YouTube-y things, you know, like, subscribe, leave a comment. If you watch this video to the end, I always like to know who makes it all the way through. You know, leave me a little emoji or something. And thank you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.